All right, it's a weekend. It's another Saturday or weekend or whatever you want to call it. That means it's finally time to get another review out. My favorite thing to do, review movies, because I have no life. So let's review Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild is a classic, great novel. And I was kind of anticipating this movie because I kind of liked a couple certain franchises. You might know of them. One starts off with dun 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 dun. Star Wars. And it might feature this certain character, Han Solo. So, and I like Indiana Jones, I guess. I like Harrison Ford. He's in a lot of good movies, okay? Harrison Ford, great actor. Love the guy. Not in a creepy way, but I do love him. That's a joke. Please do not take that the wrong way. Oh, gosh. Now there's going to be memes of me being gay with Harrison Ford. See what I start? You see what I start, people? I did like this movie. It's not as good as the novel, and I wouldn't even really say it's a good movie. I would say it's okay. This dog the dog was not poorly animated, okay? It was not. It was not a poorly animated CGI dog. My problem was he acted too human. And they were trying to make it more kid-friendly and appealing and him being all cute and, oh, what a cute dog! I don't care. Okay? Call of the Wild is a dark, gritty novel. It is not a family-friendly PG movie where the dog acts all cute and everything turns out fine in the end. That's not the point of the story. I usually don't compare movies to the book, but I wanted this story to be at least adapted. And the tone and the atmosphere of the actual work. And it wasn't. And I didn't like that for this. But I think it's okay for what is here because Harrison Ford does a great job. And the CGI and most of the acting was actually okay and pretty good. The pacing was alright. I feel like the music could have been more atmospheric. Something similar to this movie right here, Spirit. Stallion of the Cimarron. I think that's how you say it. Great movie if you haven't seen it. I wish my slipcover had not ripped, but unfortunately it did. But it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, the score, and also it should have been more like that movie where it's silent. Harrison Ford does all these narration for a big, I would say, I don't know, once Harrison Ford's character in the narration kind of stops, it's still in there, but from the first half of the movie, there's so much gosh dang narration. It is so irritating because it's not like he's explaining stuff that's clearly happening on screen. I hate it, and it shouldn't have been in the movie. And the dog. What I mean by when the dog acts too human, like there's one point where Harrison Ford's character has got a bottle of alcohol, and he's about ready to drink it. And he steals the bottle and sits on it. There's also one point where he stands in front of the guy who's because he's part of the sled team in this part of the movie. And he sits in front of him, acting like a human who's all like, I ain't budging until you give me what I want. Because he wants to lead the team. And that is so freaking stupid. Because it's not, and what makes it more distracting is the part where there are parts in this movie where he's with other dogs and they don't act like he does. He acts like a human. And it's so freaking distracting. And it's literally from the first moment that dog shows up on screen, you're like, what? I think this is a movie that a lot of kids and families are going to enjoy, which is fine. I just wish this had been more of had the tone and atmosphere of the novel. It's a great novel, and if you haven't read it, you really should. It's a classic novel, and Harrison Ford does a really great performance. You can tell his character has a lot of layers, and I just really enjoyed this movie for what it was, but I still think, or I really didn't enjoy this movie for what it was, but I still think they should have adapted the novel a little bit more. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by something in my cabinet. Is this bent? No, it's not bent. I'm so sorry. That Darth Maul looked like it was like being pushed down, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't. But oh my gosh, I'm such a nerd. Sorry, I'm a nerd. But the whole time he kept talking about his son in the movie, I kept thinking about this guy. Come on. If you like Star Wars, don't tell me you wouldn't be thinking that too. Alright, I'm going to go cry myself to sleep at night, contemplate my life choices some more, and think of how I can stop being such a freaking nerd! I feel like, Homer Simpson right now. Nerd! Obviously, I'm a really bad Homer Simpson impression, but, I did. Point is, this movie's okay. If you want to go see it with your kids, it's not a bad watch. Just not one you're ever really going to get into or want to watch again, because it was pretty meh. I still think we will never ever get to see this novel adapted properly. Every time Hollywood tries to adapt this novel, it just does not turn out right. And they've been trying to adapt this novel since 1939, so we'll see how that goes.